Hi, this is Eric Conti. This is our superintendent update. This is my first unchaperoned superintendent update, so please forgive any mistakes. I'm learning as I go. I'm joined this evening by Terry Hartford, who is our owner's project manager from Dore and Whitter, and Christopher Blessen from Tappe Architects. The purpose and point of this superintendent update is to again discuss the high school building options that we've been looking at. We've been working in two dimensions. We just finished our our public forum last night. We have a building business meeting coming up now, and we just wanted to do a very brief three-dimensional update of all the options that we are considering, and Tappe has provided a 3D model that we think helps clarify where the buildings are going on the site. So with that, I'm going to turn this over to Chris Blessen from Tappe. Chris?
Thanks, Eric. So this is the layout. This model here is the layout of the existing site as it sits today. If you notice up at the front entry, we have Cambridge Street. This is where you come into the site currently in Varsity Field, and then you come down the road, there's a student parking lot, and then additional parking up in this area, and the existing building is here. And so what we wanted to do with this model is to show the sort of interchangeable parts so you can kind of see how the site might adapt to each of the options. And so with that, I'll show you the first option, which is an addition renovation option. It's Add Reno 2. It's called AR2 in all of the options you've seen so far. So just inserting that right here, you can see that the idea conceives of having the upper portion of the building remain, and then the lower end of the building, which is where the gyms are, remain, and then this part in the middle is an addition to that building. And it fits on the site, as you can see. You can still maintain the current sort of loop road that's there and student parking and various phasing options, which you can get more detail on that at the building committee meetings and on the website. The next option up for discussion is AR8, which is another addition renovation option. Pretty similar to the other one, same concept of keeping the lower portion gyms and renovating those, and the upper portion administration wing that houses the non-high school programs mostly, and then doing the addition out in this section here. This is thought of to keep the existing auditorium in place and then building everything to the east and north of the existing building, but again working within the bounds of the current loop road that would allow for access and service to the building. The next couple of options are options that look at that are looking at various ways to do new options, new builds, and the first one that we looked at was NC1, and what I'm putting into the model right now is an infill component, and regardless of what actually goes in the middle of the building, we got some proposals for potentially some athletic surfaces like a field or a track and various things like that, but it could be nothing. It could be just a field of daisies or parking or anything really, but the idea remains that the lower portion of the building is the gym stays and gets renovated, and the upper portion of the building, which is the administration and non-high school component, stays and gets renovated. But the middle needs to come out here, and that's largely due to the various levels and state of the middle of the building, which you can get more detail on the project website and in the project meetings. But NC1 is here, and it is nestled into the site around wetlands. So there's an existing wetland about in this area. There's wetlands along the side here and up in here and along this back side here. And so NC1 is saying, what if we could fit a new building on top of the student lot? And there are various pros and cons to this option as a new build, but it is a completely new building that would house a separate gym for PE and a new auditorium because the existing one would go away, and gives you the option of having a new building. Of course, we need to deal with student parking and other things along the way, but this is how it would sit on the site as compared to the existing building, which is here. And again, the middle could be the replacement parking for the student lot or other program as the building committee determines over time with the community's input. The other two options that we were looking at for new are down on Varsity Field. So Varsity Field, when you come into the site, is right there. Everybody knows where that is. And then the first one was NC4, and that looks at a building that would replace the Varsity Field, completely separate construction, and then do the program that we talked about down here, which is, again, keeping the lower portion renovation of gyms and the upper portion of renovation for non-high school components. And so just as a point of discussion, which is the ongoing discussion with the building committee, is that this piece could be a field, could be varsity stadium, it could be just a track, and if it was just a track, we're looking at options to put a stadium field, just a play surface for sports, field sports, and seating over in this area, which is where the practice fields are now. And again, that is surrounded by wetlands, and we would need to, if a proposal moves forward for this, we would need to continue to work on flagging and identifying the extents of the wetlands to work around in conservation, in coordination with the Conservation Commission. But that kind of gives you a general idea on the various options around NC4. And then
we have one more.
And one more, NC5, and that's just a very different version of a new build on the varsity field, and it is really meant to highlight just the difference of sustainability options in terms of how the building is shaped. And so that's the lay of the land. That's a 3D model that helps you kind of envision how the various options could come together, and we hope it's helpful for visualization.
Yeah, so again, as people read through the proposals, go to the website and get more information. Again, this was just meant to supplement the information that has already been out there in a three-dimensional form. The model will be available at many of our meetings if people want to see that. So this was just meant to be a very brief update. So Terry and Chris, thank you. I want to wish everyone a very happy Valentine's Day and a safe and adventurous February break. Thank you.